Hello.
You're welcome.
Live
Ms. Isaac.
streaming is on.
Ms. Isaac, you're welcome. I can see Ms. Isaac.
Hi.
This is Melina Silva. Are you?
Africunia TV. Africunia TV.
What's going on? Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay.
Should we start?
I think we should, because if we're live streaming already,
Yeah.
we really should. It's 2:02. Am I the timekeeper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes up to 2. Yeah. Mhm.
Are they recording?
The Masterclass Initiative is an African educational organization founded by Babatunde Adekombi, a media communicator, that kickstarted in April 2020 with the aim of creating virtual opportunities for learning on practical subjects, connecting university students, young entrepreneurs, and The Masterclass Initiative is an African educational organization founded by Babatunde Adekombi, a media communicator, that kickstarted in April 2020 with the aim of creating virtual opportunities for learning on practical subjects, connecting university students, young entrepreneurs, and mid-entry level job seekers to businesses, academics, and organizational leaders for personal and communal development. The Masterclass Initiative started as a WhatsApp forum in which resourceful persons come in to educate learners on practical subjects that focus on career and job development, business strategy and branding, legal and ethics, science and technology. From its inception, the level of engagement and participation have grown periodically and rapidly. The need for virtual learning came into better fine-tuning the concept and engaging more resourceful persons internationally. The Masterclass is now recorded on Zoom, streamed live on Facebook, with an average attendance of 100 participants cutting across university students, young entrepreneurs, and job seekers. As of today, the Masterclass Initiative has equally been able to give privilege to some of the participants to serve as Masterclass moderators, giving them an opportunity to build their
Okay, we were back now, and we thank you all for staying tuned. And it's glad to have you here all once again. We appreciate you all for your time, particularly our panelists, Mrs. Nika Moses, Dr. Lila, and Dr. Roma, and alongside our co-host, Mr. Ibrahim Adebayo. Thank you all for staying tuned. At this time, let me introduce our moderator to start the moderation and bring alive the invited panelists for today's masterclass on art and culture, territorial attractiveness. Mr. Latif Adebayo, are you here? I welcome you now at this point to moderate the masterclass. Okay, yes, I think we couldn't get Mr. Latif Adebayo. At this point, let me welcome Dr. Leila Kozo Tazaro to give the keynote speech on the topic, Art and Culture, Territorial Attractiveness. Dr. Leila, can we have your keynote speech before we go into the panel discussion proper? Thank you, Dr. Leila from Germany. It's good connecting with you. How are you doing?
Thank you, Babatunde. I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm fine. It's good having you on board to take up this masterclass as a keynote speaker. We appreciate you for your time.
Yeah, it's pleasure is mine, and also
Yeah,
thanks
fine,
for hosting me too,
yeah.
and my fellow, Nenka and Roma. We are all here to speak about this interesting topic.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
So should I
Okay,
give the floor to
go ahead.
Ibrahimi? Maybe.
Yeah, we couldn't get him at this point, but you can go
Okay,
ahead with your
so
keynote the panel discussion.
okay.
Thank you. Yeah,
Let me share my screen then.
definitely. You can.
Yeah. So can you see it? A full screen? Yes?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
I can
So
see it.
as Babatunde, you mentioned, it's about territory attractiveness. So really putting together art and culture with nature. So why I came with this topic originally last February, that's because to me, that's really out of my experience. My curriculum, I first started a long time ago at the end of the 90s in the Ministry of Culture, just having an internship, in the Cultural Directorate of Alsace, regional directorate in France. That really actually is there to put arts, culture, nature as an important asset in our society. And I was there in the communication, so I was first sensitized to this topic, and then up to 2020, then started COVID, and then I got involved myself just in personally, with this topic again, especially in the digital world, in the social media, starting really to talk about territories. So because for me the idea was that territories are our surroundings, and they are attractive in many aspects to us, to human beings, and we were a bit cut from nature and also arts maybe before COVID, and all of a sudden, it's like the world's breaking down, and a lot of people get back closer to the nature, and also start being kind of artists, even if they are not professionals, but so they have this artistic sensitivity that they try to express in the social media. They even I know people who wrote books and during this time
Absolutely.
lockdown a lot, books, poems, and who really took the floor in the digital world uh, to to voice their opinions about sustainability. That's why actually my first idea was really that we have these eyes wide open on sustainability since COVID. I mean, we kind of a lot more people
Yeah.
than usual, even if actually a long time ago it started already. A lot of people got involved, founded NGOs, associations all around arts and culture. So that's why I'm here showing the Austrian Salzburg Global Seminar that's entitled Beyond Green, the arts as a catalyst for sustainability. And they launched this initiative in 2016 already, where they even wrote reports, but also with companies, not only artists, all around sustainability. So this Austrian initiative, that was really that to voice the creative sector, that really is playing an increasingly significant role in raising awareness of climate change and also encouraging sustainable social, economic, and environmental practices worldwide. So that's why you can see this painting here, of this drawing all around arts, culture, nature too, you see. And you have also Cultura 21 that was launched actually all around the COVID time last year. And that's a digital platform that really features a lot of initiatives all around the arts and culture, nature, sustainability. You see Eco Island. There are a lot of events all around that. Also digital. It really works.
Great.
Yeah, and so for me, I'm used to at in my work as a market intelligence manager. I'm used to focusing on territorial attractiveness, but that's rather from an economic point of view, business perspective and political perspective too. But this time here, of course, you can understand my focus is rather on arts and culture, which is playing an increasing role. So that's very interesting to try and include this element as a more and more key element in also in business. I mean, and so what I also wanted to say is I'm just keeping some slides because it's not the topic of today really. This global wake-up call with COVID. So you can see some examples there. That's really because that shows that COVID was a booster, and a lot of people were awakened. You can see, for example, even in the UN, United Nations, you have news really voicing this wake-up call of COVID, and that you have Guardian articles too. That's they are urging the world to be more sustainable. So to wake up really to act differently. You have also Bioneers. Bioneers is quite an old initiative. It's an NGO founded in the early 2000s. And here, of course, they also voices their opinion about the wake-up call, but that's very old. They've been starting for a long time already on to value arts and culture, and then also trying to use the arts and culture in the innovation space, and also to have also partnerships with companies even. Yeah, that was because it's just a short recap, so I won't comment this slide. But here you can see also, associations, also pioneers trying to connect arts and culture with nature. So they even organize workshops for children. So very important in terms of education,
Wow.
of the young generation. You can see this program launch of
Great.
telling our stories, storytelling. They use that a lot because it's a powerful tool. It's of course it's a traditional way of communicating, especially in Africa. But then it's really becoming very hype, these days. It's also in the digital world. So you have storytelling workshops for kids to learn how to tell stories around the nature. And just a moment.
Yes. It gives them a sense of
Okay,
they're
yes.
able to learn extensively
Yeah.
in reality what nature entails and
Yes.
other, other aspects
Mm.
that cannot be learned theoretically as well.
Yeah, exactly. You have those
It's also a form of
herbicide-free.
education.
Yeah, you have this herbicide-free
Yeah, go on.
initiative, for
I'm saying it's
example.
also a form of exploration and
Yeah. Uh, yeah, you have also an example with this kind of drawing all around herbicide-free initiative. So it's also tackling the environment, protection of the environment, but with a tool like uh, all around arts and culture. Yes, and
yes.
then just some recap because this will be featured later. And the concluding remarks. So for me, around my so according to my experience also now in the digital world, uh, for me it's really important to be proactive with storytelling. So using this kind of small stories, trying to tell stories also around real cases, so also of people who are struggling sometimes, and um, reporting about their success then, but also storytelling around a territory. So putting a value onto the legacy, the cultural legacy, and but also the natural legacy of a country, and showing some videos of the country. You will see during the break with two examples, and also proving that we need to be more connected to our surroundings, also in our neighborhood, because during COVID, a lot of people rediscovered their surroundings, their neighborhoods, even museums sometimes, or
Yeah,
parks, green spaces.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
during the lockdown, they realized, okay,
yes.
oh, also what is close to them is very valuable, worthwhile discovering.
Yes.
So I connect my personal experience with arts and culture and nature.
More
That's
people are
why.
able to familiarize themselves with it.
Sorry, say it again, please.
I said
Yeah.
more people were able to familiarize themselves with what is in
Yes,
their
exactly.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
They're able to learn from it. These things have existed for a long time, but due to busyness on
Yeah.
our part, like we realize all this. But the COVID gave
Exactly.
us the opportunity to learn.
Mm.
People were indoor and working from.
Yes, that's well said. That's like time flies, and then the routine is more powerful than the being spontaneous and trying to discover our neighborhoods. And that's COVID. Thanks to, I mean, thanks. I mean, with COVID, at least we could see, yes, a lot of people were able to be more connected to their surroundings. Um, so according to me, I mean, I endeavor to really generate a collective effort focused on sustainability. So also bringing together people from different perspectives. So it could be also artists, but also business people, people are more involved in NGOs, and charities, and then all together we can really create a lot of nice projects all around arts and culture and nature. So it's really about artistic
Yes, yes.
co-creation, and you can see a lot of initiatives also. Quite recently in France, they launched a digital platform, Panacea, and it's really about bringing artists together, artists and non-artists, and working on a project to co-create something together. Yeah, it's drawing, films. It's really all about arts. It's really nice. So you will see this more and more often. This kind of also role about to be a citizen, a really world citizen, and voicing one's opinion too about the society, and being kind of
Yeah,
trying to
getting
be more
involved.
sustainable. So yeah, So for me, the idea of emphasizing the natural and cultural richness of our territories across the globe is very powerful and necessary too. Well,
Definitely.
if you see what happened with COVID, for example, the pandemic, so that's really an eye opener. Yeah, that's
Wow, great.
all about the idea, and thanks for your attention. So that we can then
Okay,
go ahead and also share thoughts with the other speakers.
definitely.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Leonard,
Yes, you're
also
welcome.
Tasaro, for the an overview of the presentation. I mean, the keynote speech is hard. I think, have been able to gain some insights. And
Mm.
yes, we're going on a short commercial breakdown. When we are back, we'll continue with the panel discussion. Stay tuned. We'll be
Okay.
right back.
Do you want to stay connected to friends and family? Make money online and have a good time? Download JoinToom app from App Store or Play Store and start right away. JoinToom is a social media app that is beyond just a social media app. It has amazing features like no other. For instance, it has a cryptocurrency feature. You can join a blockchain-friendly social media platform. Do you want to stay connected to friends and family? Make money online and have a good time? Download JoinToom app from App Store or Play Store and start right away. JoinToom is a social media app that is beyond just a social media app. It has amazing features like no other. For instance, it has a cryptocurrency feature. You can join a blockchain-friendly social media platform for advertising and promoting your projects. You can earn fiat money or cryptocurrency by liking, commenting, and posting on JoinToom. You could earn points and convert your money to fiat money. You can use earn points to advertise through JoinToom. You could set up a crowdfunding campaign. There is also the option to upload dynamic profile picture for users. There is a user profile info, which displays users' profile information such as birthday, website, gender, social media, about, last seen, and so on. There is a hashtag option, which displays trending and related topics shared by users. There is a user privacy. This gives you the option to control who can message you, post on your timeline, follow you, confirm your requests or not, last seen, and so on. You can tag people on a status or messages. You can like, unlike a post, view a list of people who like a post. You can comment on a post, reply to a comment, and view all comments on a post. You can search for people, and you can use our hashtags with our filtered search system. With so much amazing features, what are you waiting for? Download JoinToom app today on Play Store or App Store and stay connected.
Break. We just that's the social media app created by the Africuna TV channel. We encourage you all to make use of it to get connected with your friends and family as well. It's usable. I mean, it's user friendly and it's something you enjoy using. So, welcome back, all. We thank you all for staying tuned. At this point, we would like Mrs. Uneka Moses to give us a brief overview of what you think about the topic, arts and culture, territorial attractiveness. Uh, she's the founder of Gogi and Africa Foundation, and she got about 2 decades experience in the tourism industry. So it's glad to have you here, Mrs. Isaac Neka Moses. Thank you for staying tuned, and we are very, very glad to have you come. Uh,
Thank you
I'd
so
like
much,
to hear
Baba
your
Tunde.
opinion about the topic before we
Thank, yeah, thank you, Baba
start.
Tunde. Yes, thank you, Baba Tunde. Um, I'm very excited to be here. First of all, I want to thank you again for inviting me, because for me, I think it's an opportunity to actually learn more. The presentation was quite beautiful. I liked it very much, and I think I'll take my time to look at it thoroughly, even after this conversation, and perhaps get back to you, Dr. Roma,
Yeah,
on
sure.
some
Yeah.
points. Okay. Now, when you talk to me as a destination promoter and someone who has been in tourism, um, and talk about destination attractiveness, arts and culture, the first thing that will come to my mind would be to think about destination in the sense of geographical location of one person or the other. And what strikes me most in all of this is the COVID-19 pandemic has been a blessing in disguise, because the first time it started, it really gave us a jolt. But it gave us an opportunity to become even more close to people that are so far away. Before now, this may not have happened, but it is happening now. We're able to connect to each other and talk about topics that we are interested in. Now, for me, destination attractiveness when it comes to arts and culture would be, number one, as a travel person, people would want to go out. A lot of people felt our businesses are down because of the COVID. But I think this was an opportunity for us to actually look around us and see what is within. And when that happened, I began to also discover things that are so close to me. Lots of people that have little museums within their house. Here in Maryland, I don't know if you've heard of Shillong. His museum in his house have got more than you can see in, let me even start with our National Museum. So when people came to me and like, I'm so bored, what do? I started talking to them about going domestic within your environment. There's so much you can do to appreciate nature, arts, and culture. When COVID came in, the first thing we did, by the way, Goge Africa I'm the founder, I'm the co-founder with my husband. Goge Africa is described by Wikipedia as a cultural institution, but it's also a media and travel business. So the first thing we did was to launch the cross-sectoral collaboration for tourism and economic development. And what that cross-sectoral is talking about is I'm connecting to you, I'm connecting to you, you're in the arts, I'm in entertainment, you're in film, you're a banker. And funny enough, COVID helped us to get out one thing, that your arts is one thing that helps people to relax. When you talk about the issue of mental health, because we had a lot of issues regarding to mental health because of the lockdown and people are bored, people who go out normally couldn't go out. But the arts was actually a tool that helped people to connect. I went for a presentation the other day at Muson Center. There was a play. And what were they talking about? Mental health. By the time I watched it along with others, it spoke to me and I came back in my community. I started pulling together housewives that are bored and have nothing to do. And I shared the idea of community. In a way, it has helped us to start the communal living again, but with social distancing and all of that. You understand? So you reach out to your neighbor, but you're being careful. You're trying to play safe. So our environment becomes like a tool for healing us. For those of us that live in certain places, you begin to discover where you are because you can't even begin to travel far anyway. So for me, I think what this did, and for me, is the relevance of my culture and the arts within and around me became very important. And I also reached out to people that are farther than I can imagine using digital media. And it's also interesting for me because it's a time when a lot of new businesses sprang up. And to support, because whatever you do in life is good to add value, to support a lot of young businesses and even the old ones that are taking a nosedive, especially in my industry, what we started to do is a free tourism training where we connect to people that came in on our cross-sectoral collaboration for tourism and economic development. We had a bank came on board and said they announced 5 billion to support tourism industry. Thanks to the webinar.
Wow.
That's what the digital media did, and that's what COVID brought about. And then we reached out to other organizations who actually contributed some funds, and together we were able to hold tourism trainings. One is coming up on Tuesday, the 1st of June. We had one fully sponsored by Nigerian LNG, and the participants don't have to pay a thing. The other one lasted for 2 weeks, and we had to lodge them in hotels and open their eyes to the opportunities around them. And now you see people who don't have businesses put up a small tour. There's what we call point and kill. Point and kill is the fish pond, the little fish pond where you can have, and you have a little barbecue. So you go in the evening, look at an art show, or go to the museum, Antinike Arts Gallery, come out from there, you do your point and kill, relax, with enough social distancing, and then you go home, you feel revitalized again. So I think the issue of art as being art and culture has a lot to do with a destination attractiveness. Something has to attract you to a destination. Besides business, there are other factors. And for me, I think the culture of the people is one of the greatest selling points that attracts me to any destination. Let me cede the floor to other people to also air their views. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Sinika. I think you've actually enlightened us on the necessity. Talking from the angle of destination attractiveness, yes, definitely. Every country has something different, something distinctive as to going down there. Particularly in Africa, there are a lot of massive attraction across the continent, and I think one of the things you do in Go Beach is to facilitate that encourage, gives people the opportunity to explore. Different countries in Africa, and over the years, I think there's been a lot of massive improvements in that line. So thank you, Mrs. Onika, for sharing your thoughts. At this point, I would like Dr. Roman to give us, share insights as regard the topic as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Babatunde. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. This is a very special platform, very close to my heart, very close to my profession, very close to me in person, because this is what I work on, ecofeminism, where we live in alignment with nature, where culture evolves from nature. Culture evolves from the territory that we are a part of. Culture is related with nature. Culture is not separate from nature. Wild and civilized are connected. They evolve. Nature, wildness is where we evolve from. So this is very special to me. Thank you so much, Dr. Laila, for leading the way. Thank you, Ms. Nenka, for giving me the clues. And here, I'm an artist, I'm an art historian, and I'm an ecofeminist, an activist, a researcher. So let me share with you some of my explorations of the whole COVID-19 happening, and then how I felt about it and what I thought about it. So I'll go screen share. And I hope I can do a job with screen sharing. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the?
Oops. Yeah.
Is this the? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this was my reaction to COVID-19 because. Sorry, can you see it? Okay. Yes. This was my reaction to COVID-19 because I realize that we keep creating, as human beings, we create these gaps between culture and nature, which really don't exist. And culture evolves from nature. And I'm thinking whether if our identity is marked as separate, as gender based, or based on color or the texture of the hair or location or space that we belong to, then how can I survive the COVID-19 pandemic? Because we are divided, or we are bordered, and we are not in tune. We're not together. The virus does not see these borders. The virus just goes to everyone, any age, any gender, anybody, comorbidities, whatever it be. It doesn't see borders, what nationality you are, where you belong, what space you belong to. But we as human beings create these borders of gender, sexuality, race, immigrant status, nationality, comorbidities, etc. So these colors, to me, it's graded. Our identity is graded, which we need to overcome. We even, our flesh tones keep coming under scrutiny. We keep thinking through the flesh. We sort, we classify, we categorize, we pigeonhole uniqueness. Our identity is marked, right? Our ancient flows of dark and light across the globe, they've been affected by gene mutations. And now with COVID-19, it's supposed to be a mutation of bioracism. So there's no scientific basis for race. It's a made-up label, right? But by saying that we don't see color, and you can't see the gradation in the color that we have created, how will we fix this? We need to be able to see the gradation to be able to fix it. So that means by not seeing, we're erasing identity oppression, discrimination, dismissing our very struggles and experiences of being marginalized or othered. And, you can even see color in flesh, in passports, in gender, in professions, coloring our very existence, right? So to me, that we really need to address, and this is my very abstract description of our identity being graded. Going back to what Dr. Leila said about, oops, how do I stop the screen share? Is that me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So that's my concern of identity being graded. So I had graded painting, graded just basic colors, because we really need to live in tune with nature, with our land, with our culture, where we belong, in tune with that, and celebrate it. Celebrate the flora, the fauna, the soil, the water, each of it, to be able to survive all these pandemics, to be able to survive the sixth mass extinction that we expect, to be able to survive climate change, to celebrate trans-species existence. That's my little bit on this. Thank you.
Oh wow, I love the concept of color journey you used to kickstart your overview about the session. It's amazing. I think yes, color cannot be the importance of color in our everyday life. I mean, cuts across a lot of aspect of our life. I mean, fashion. I mean, decision making, the way we dress. I mean, people have favorite colors and applications in using them. It's very key. You've also shared us the color during the pandemic and after the pandemic. So thank you, Dr. Roma.
Thank you, Mr. Babatunde.
The overview is very insightful. So at this point, I think we are staying in the mode of the panel discussion. We're going to be discussing some few questions here because of our time, and because hopefully we should round up this session in the next 20 to 25 minutes, 30 minutes thereabouts. So the first question we're going to be looking at this to know is, and everybody's going to speak on, is going to contribute. First question is, how has COVID-19 contributed in increased global sensitiveness for art and culture or nature? Let me repeat the question again. How has COVID-19 contributed in increased global sensitiveness for arts and culture or nature? So I would like Dr. Leila to start by answering this question. Then we move on to Mrs. Inika and Dr. Roma. So, Dr. Leila?
Yes. Actually, I will be repeating a bit myself because I covered that in my keynote presentation, but that's okay. It's just to emphasize again how the lockdown, had such a healing effect on a lot of people. Yeah, and even people who are not really involved in arts, not writers, nothing, not poets, but they were really inspired because they were feeling really a kind of despair, kind of a sense of emergency too. They were a bit lost because it was really new to a lot of us actually. This it's never seen before in our lifetime, to be in lockdown and to feel insecure also, because we needed to keep distance to others, even to our loved ones, and we don't know how long it will be lasting. That's also this insecurity aspect that made a lot of us really being very genuine, to trying to go deep into our feelings and trying to express them, especially in the social media. So
Definitely.
yeah, that's why I've really experienced also myself a bit, but also a lot of friends, or also people I got to know thanks to COVID, really remotely actually, that all of them, they all of a sudden they publish books and poems and even excerpts of what they wrote in the social media. They they release ebooks sometimes, and they also join forces together in all kinds of networks focused on women, networks focused on humanity driven initiatives, NGOs, and then they are always connected to arts and culture and nature somehow, because they share the legacy of their countries with others also remotely. That's really made possible now, as Mrs. Neka has mentioned, through the social media and telecommunications. That's really great that people really get attracted to territories of others, but really remotely actually. And yeah, that's
So
made us closer
thanks
to our
to
surroundings too. That's really in a way that's a blessing, that we also, like Dr. Roma mentioned, that we come closer to our roots from a cultural, artistic, and natural point of view. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. Ms. Ineka, I would like you to share your opinion about the. I mean, I hope you get the question, Penny.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Oh.
Oh,
No, she's
okay.
coming back because
Okay. While we are waiting, Mrs. Ineka, can Dr. Roma answer the question too?
Hi. Yes, Mr.
Yes,
Babu.
Dr. Roma.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay.
I can see you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't think I'm going to say so much that is different from what you just spoke now. But what I was going to also add is the fact that we all kind of reached out to people that are far while you're on lockdown. You know, a lot of us were working from home. That's a new trend now, work from home. And in working from home, you realize that you actually, I don't know about others, but I realize I work much more having to sit at home and work from home, you know, some of the times. And reaching out to other people, I was able to read books. I also had to take online courses. And in taking the online courses from some universities that is not within Nigeria, I got connected to other people, and we were discussing our general plight, because I mean, it's a pandemic. The whole world is involved. So we were sharing our cultures and how we are coping. And people in Italy are telling me about their grandma that they can't visit, and even when they visit, they can't touch her, you know, and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, for me, brought it home to us that at the end of the day, we are all human beings. So touching on the point of is it Dr. Roma? Am I mixing it up? That spoke about humanity and colorless humanity. Let me put it that way. You find that you connect to people. You're not asking, are you white? Are you black? We are both in the same class. I've had to, for me to pass my, you know, the course I was into, I had to mark somebody's paper. Somebody had to mark my paper. And you couldn't tell by the names if this was white, or black, or brown, or blue. And at the end of that whole process, I made friends from far who share their cultures with me, send me photographs. Some of them are painters. And I'm seeing images from Russia. I'm seeing images from Australia, from Canada, from South Africa, but I'm here in Nigeria. And because they went online to see what I do for a living, some of them are like, could you send me some clips of some traditional African dance? I just want to lift my spirit. I find myself sharing images to friends in America. And believe it or not, a friend of mine relocated to Tanzania on Wednesday. She left America. She moved to Zanzibar. I have two other friends who also relocated from America. The other one went to Gambia, and then I think the other one is Uganda. So people, and all of this were sparked up by the COVID situation. So for me, and sharing all of those images that I was sharing with people, I mean, someone from Barbados, Mr. Hatchett, I hope you're logged on, was asking me, what is the name of that kind of hairdo where it's all up? What do you call it in Africa? And I'm like, what hairdo? Can you send me a picture so I can get a sense of what you're talking about? He sends back my picture to me, where I did the updo. We call it, some people call it keleke, some people call it shuku, some people call it onile gogoro, depending. So you see, we are sharing our cultures, we're sharing our values, we're sharing the arts, because all of this is art. Life is art in itself. Okay, when we logged on this morning, you were commenting on what I was wearing. Okay, I got this before COVID, I got it in Kenya. So every piece tells a story. The lady that sold this to me had a story attached to it. We don't have all that time today. And even my hairdo, what you're wearing, the colors, I mean, some people attach a particular meaning to this color or that color. White means something to somebody. Black means something to somebody. The same thing, orange, and so on and so forth. So for me, I think we have what I would call colorless humanity. It is you that I know, because at the end of the day, if you slice me or slice you, the blood is the same color. It is the same color. And guess what? What language do you cry in? Try crying. Does your cry, if you hear a Swahili person cry and an Aborigine in what is it called, Australia cry, does it sound different? When you feel pain, there is no language to express pain. Okay? And when you laugh, for me, I said that A smile or a laughter is one language that is very universal. Everywhere I go, once I smile, okay, whatever it means to you is what it means to the other person. But a frown means the same. So I don't know if COVID is a blessing more than it is a curse. But like we say, in every negative, there's a positive. So I hope I haven't deviated so much. But I think I'm borrowing a leaf from the last speaker who said something that is quite dear to my heart. Because my success is your success. When I fail, you fail. You cannot be a very rich man and you're the only rich person in that community. You are as poor as your next neighbor. That's why I said to myself, after 20-something years of running a successful tourism media brand, the only success I see is the transfer of knowledge that I have to do. Because if those before me had shared as much knowledge as I'm willing to share, I wouldn't have struggled so hard to get to where I am. That's why I said to myself, even if we have to do it for free, we go out, use our clout, our platform, to get the monies from those that have the money and use it to develop those that need to be developed. And I think that's what humanity should be. And I think that's what humanity is all about. And South Africans will say Ubuntu. That's Ubuntu. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Great. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Very emotional, very
Thank you,
passionate.
Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the question. Very insightful. And I mean, the last comment caught my attention. I mean, knowledge shareability is very, very important. Very, very important. And we all need to adopt this modality. So, Dr. Roma, insight on the question.
Thank you, Mr. Babatunde. And I'm going to continue from what Dr. Leila and Ika have been talking about, because it's getting very emotional, getting very so much passion filled. So I am, to answer this question, I am actually inspired by artist, American African artist, Wangchi Muthu's sculpture. And I'm going to share that with you as I talk about what I think of this. So I'm going to go screen share, and I hope. Can you see it?
We can see it. Yeah.
Thank you. So this is Nairobian American artist Wangchi Muthu's Water Woman. And she is in a cast bronze ebony skin with a large mermaid tail, and she sits on a grassy mound. She gazes at Laguna Gloria, and she's catching the sun. She's rooted in her legends, the East African woman mermaid, Nguwa, and the dugong, which is found in the warm coastal waters from East Africa to Australia. So this water woman personifies secrets of a promising eco-scene tomorrow, where we live with our land, with our water, with the trans species, the earth others. So she is a cunning temptress. She deconstructs and disrupts. She breaks the dominant historical narratives of colonialism and masculinity. She assumes a human form to entice, drag, and drown all the invaders into the ocean. Now, her interwoven components, the East African legends and Afro-surrealist elements of science fantasy, from today, contemporary science fantasy. And she's critiquing colored and female stereotypes, the widespread global notions of race, power, and colonialism. And Muthu describes Nguwa as if she sirens a very rooted charcoal-hued female form, rooted in her indigenous lands. Wherever she's placed, she's rooted. And she replaces the pervasive Western iconography, which is embedded in Nordic, Anglo-Saxon, Hellenic representations. Like you should all be pale-skinned, silken hair women, which are prevalent in art and in media. This is Mutu's film, The End of Eating Everything, where we see Santa Gold as a fantastical, omnipotent Medusa Gorgon. She devours all the fauna she sees until she herself bursts, she gets destroyed. So we need to look at how we lived with earth others, with our earth, with soil and water, with the flora and fauna. You know how we are, you know the stories of ivory, of the African elephants, of the skins of reptiles, the snakes, how we're destroying them, of farming, colonizing the salmon, and 3/4 of the water creatures that are consumed. So we need to live with our ecology, is what I'm saying. We need to be part of the ecology, that the ecosystem that we are. Sorry, terrible with screen sharing. Is it me? Do you see me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I see you.
Okay. All right. Sorry. So we need to live with our ecosystem. We need to respect our ecosystem. We need to be passionate about it. We need to nurture it. And nature, culture, art is sourced from our lands, our water, our territory. The territorial attractiveness comes only when we are going to nurture it. And that's where art and culture are sourced from. That's where they are rooted. How can we destroy our lands, the flora and the fauna, and then make our territories attractive? You know, when we were colonized, how many pounds of ivory, and even today, elephants being killed for their tusks, or rhinos being killed for their horns, or crocodiles and snakes being destroyed, or women being abused, or indigenous people, all of that has to stop. It just has to stop. So that's where our territorial, I think that's the root of our territorial attractiveness, to nurture nature, which gives birth to our culture as well as our art. And all of that together is art.
All right.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Ruma, for sharing your
Thank
insights.
you, Babatunde.
Interesting. I think the two artifacts you shared, I mean, the story behind them is very storyline behind these two artifacts is very insightful, and I got to learn some things from it. Thank you for taking your time to research deeply these two artifacts. So we're going to the other 2, 3 questions, and where not every one of us will talk because of our time. Just take the 3 other questions individually. So I would like Ineka to tell us how shall we connect art and culture with nature, and which best practices initiative have recently arisen.
Well, for me, I think arts and culture are naturally connected with nature. The last speaker made that clear. The speaker before her did. They are already connected. But I think what we should be looking at is how to exploit it, if I could use that word, and make it sustainable. If we run away from our environment, where you are created to be, and you fail to nurture your environment, and you fail to extract from nature what it has in store for you. Am I clear? Hello? May I continue? Okay.
Yeah, you are
I
audible
hear you.
enough.
Okay, fine. If you fail to do that, then you have planted the seed of never to succeed. Because the art that we enjoy today, there is nothing that you can create from nothing. You create it from what is already available. So my take would be destruction of ourselves. When you destroy a fellow human being, you're actually killing nature. Somebody said to me that the greatest ideas are in the graveyard. Because once you go with whatever you have here. And we're all nature beings. And to connect it to the nature around us, you can't create an art piece without using the raw materials around you, whatever you call it. You get it from what you have. Even the cell phone that we all carry today, the raw material we use for it did not fall from space. So to connect all of them and keep it sustainable, for me, I think of sustainability in all we do, is to, one, encourage artists, not just by buying their art. If you don't have money to support them physically, the least you can do is to support them. Even by talking about it within a WhatsApp group, sharing. I know just 2 artists that I was able to sell their work, not because I intended to. They sent to me, oh, this is what I have. Because of this COVID thing, it's times are hard. I said, I can't buy, but let me share with people. And I shared, and somebody supported. One of them, if I could go outside and show you my environment, you'll be surprised. One thing I did during COVID is to get an artist to come and do a painting for me. There are places I love to go. I'll show you. Let me try. There are places I love to go. Now, I can't go to those places. So what did I do? I got an artist. Anyway, okay, you can't see this. I got an artist. Let me stand here to do that on my wall. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, this was done during the lockdown. And then I also got him to paint me a picture of the beach. Look at this.
Yeah. Whoa.
And I said, I miss the waterfall. And I had this done. And this is outside in my yard. Okay? So and after I did this guy got so busy, even for me. Did you understand? Most people in my estate said to me, oh, even while he was doing it, people engaged him. And now there is nobody that visits my estate that doesn't say, please, can I take a picture by your wall? Oh, sure, by all means. So there's so many ways we can support. There are so many ways we can support the arts. You know, I can take my time, sit down, list it out, and we can all join one movement or the other, or do what we can within our immediate environment. I had an art contest. This is one of the winners. He did this. Gogi Africa organized the art contest and was able to support them. I think each of them won $1,000. Look at this. This same artist put this table together. So if you just let me, I will keep going on and on and on. So, but the thing is that I'm an art lover. When I was in school, when you talk about A levels, after my secondary school, I did art secretly without my parents knowing. Drawing, and then tie and dye. So what you're talking about is something that is so close to my heart, and I am happy I'm part of this conversation. The only way to connect and to make it sustainable is to support the art, because art is life, and without art, there is no life. Even the food we eat, the clothes we wear, your house. Our house is, it's as simple as it is. It's a work of art. So, what can I say? I talk with so much passion. I'm sorry. That's me. I try to. Yeah, I draw my inferences. Yeah,
we need the
passion.
We need everyone to be involved.
Yeah. I am so involved. I am so involved. Actually, there's a training I'm planning to do in one community in South. It's arts and craft training. All of these artists that I have around me here in Lagos, I'm planning to take them down there and train a few people. They have beautiful seashells. Each time they use it to cook food, and then they throw away the shell. If you're from Nigeria, there's this soup we cook with it's seafood anyway. But when they are done, they throw away the shell. You get to that community, they don't know what to do with it. I picked them up. I came back here. I spoke to a few artists. We put a few things together. I said to myself, we need to go back to this community and train some people in the arts. They can make a living out of it. Let me not take all our time, please. And thank you for listening to my, thank you.
Thank you for the responses.
We could listen to more.
Most times we ignorantly don't know what we have around us are very beneficial to us that could facilitate art and culture in terms of viability. It's good to learn from what you said today, and very, very applicable. And sharing some upcoming projects you have in mind. I'm very sure people who are interested will inform about it, and I'm very optimistic they will key into the project. And the government as well can also see how they can come in as well. So it's very important. We really appreciate how you responded to this question. Thank you. So, Dr. Roma, I would like you to answer this question. And it's how can storytelling strengthen the message of unity between art and culture and nature? How can storytelling strengthen the message of unity between art and culture and nature?
Definitely. Storytelling is something that's come down the ages, and that's how one lineage passes on. Every generation passes on, all the stories of the past to the future, and that's how we carry stories and, life, we feel connected. That's how we envision life in the future too. It's stories, and now stories take so many different forms. Now, of course, we're all online thanks to COVID, and otherwise too the digital world. But storytelling could be performance. For me, it's art and performance. It could be film, many different formats. Let me again share with you some inspiration for storytelling that I am inspired by. So here, no, can you see this? Can you see
Not yet.
some art?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Okay. So this is, I don't know if I'm on presenter view. This is American street artist. This I got inspired by what Dr. Leila said about street. She was showing us something on the street art, how children come together, how adults come together and create street art. Because street art is very political art. And you're always trying to share a message. And for the everyday people, street art is the way to share messages, their concerns, or to celebrate whichever way they want to, it's their form of communication. So she's very commonly known as Swoon or Caledonia Curry. She paints the Greek goddess Thalassa because for us, historically, goddesses, women, and nature, women have been connected with nature. As ecofeminism would explain to you, women and nature are connected. Women work with nature constantly. They tend to nature, right? So this is Thalassa, Greek goddess. and she rises 16 feet tall. She's got seaweed in her hair, and she has horseshoe crab plaster on sternum, rib cage with wriggling pipefish, and she takes us to the depths of the ocean. There's some background noise, right?
Yeah, we try to move.
If you could mute. So her goddess-like form is free-flowing because there's oceanic species, there's skeletal fish streamers, they go all over, all directions, omnidirectionally. They symbolize our network of rivers, seas, ponds, oceans. But then the skeletal remains on her form show how we are devastating our oceans with plastic, with oil spills, with dead fish, in so many different ways. Like Nenka mentioned, laptops and phones, we are the lithium, the rare earth from Africa, from Ukraine, from the Tibet border, the rare earth that goes into our mobile phones and our laptops. And that leaves a lot of dead animals around because we don't close the mines properly. Industrialization and capitalism is blooming, but at the cost of nature. These skeletal remains also show the Florida Deepwater Horizon oil spill, the oil discharges. We need to nurture nature, and she lives in the water, so she threatens to liquefy, the capitalists' virility. And here, you can see Singaporean artist Tansy Z's Plastic Ocean, which shows us how all the species are disappearing. Non-mechanized fishing communities now are facing fish exhaustion, coral acidification. We are facing the 6th mass extinction. And all the species are being actually taken over by plastic in the ocean. So most of the species are disappearing. And there's Buchanan who says, do we need to eat fish as in, farming fish? Because fish was eaten in a certain way, certain quantity, but now we are farming fish and colossal amounts of fish and, captivating it. So we see dead fish like this very often in Kuwait. This is an image from Kuwait. So
Very sad.
Yeah, this is my take on living with nature. Thank you. And celebrating nature, nurturing nature, being one with nature, with our territory.
Definitely. I think storytelling puts up, another venue to share extensively the impacts of art and culture and the relevance and what we need to do to protect nature. It's very important. When we put up messages there in news publication, articles, people are more knowledgeable. They are enlightened on what they need to do and what they don't have to do to destroy nature because ignorantly people who are destroying nature and they don't know. The last picture you shared about plastic pollution through plastic. Sometimes we found out that people they didn't really throw plastic in oceans and even in drainages. From then drainages down, it flows down to oceans and as you said, the species disappearing and result to. Thank you so much, Dr. Roma, for sharing your insight. So, lastly, we're going to take Dr. Leah to share extensively on how can we best leverage on online and offline communications channel to promote nature, culture, and to promote art and culture and nature. I think Dr. Lena, you have a lot of experience in marketing artificial intelligence, and I'm very optimistic you're going to give us a deep insight on how we can leverage on online and offline communications channel to promote nature and culture. So, Dr. Lena, can you share your thought on this?
Yes, thanks, Mr. Babatunde. And yeah, it's a really interesting question because as you can as you can see now, digital world is very increasingly important now. I mean, for me, it's really essential actually because with that we can reach out to people across the globe, as Mrs. Nenka and also Dr. Roma said previously. So in our marketing strategy, it's really essential to combine both, offline and online channels upfront, really. So social media combined with, for example, magazines, um, and it really can be all around focus on arts and culture and nature, really. It's already taking place, but I'm sure we can foster even more initiatives now, thanks to this COVID pandemic time. For example, it's really important to find some opinion leaders, but really in any kind of of sector. It could be artists, but also um, artists, but also business leaders and people also involved in NGOs, in charities.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, color. I mean, race. That it has no frontiers, no borders. Actually, it's really a global initiative that a lot of people could initiate with those opinion leaders, and also having a lot of stakeholders in there from different backgrounds: poets, writers, painters, singers, actors. I mean, also tourist business people, of course, and yeah, and yeah, and also people from the medical background, because it's also around, all about wellness, mental health, like Miss Nenka mentioned before. So we should just build up networks of like-minded people, I would say, and mobilize them around common initiatives and really humanity-driven, so that they all are kind of very trained to be global citizens in the right sense of the word, being courageous to voice their opinions, even if it's not um, the conventional wisdom, I would say. And actually, you can experience that nowadays. Really, since COVID, a lot of people took courage to voice their opinions, and then a lot of other people said, "Wow, yes, I like that. It's great to have courageous people." And then to also voice one's opinions that is sometimes the same, and even if it's not the same, but at least we can take it from there and build up nice projects all together, and
Definitely.
also help people all across the world. Because yeah, I mean, I can experience a lot of sorrow around me and also very far away sometimes, also with people that I didn't know before. But we also suffer I mean, a lot of people suffer the same thing around job loss or disease sometimes because of COVID, or isolation, so mental health problems. So even artists, I know, they are also talking about this topic of mental health through some arts piece. Yeah, they do some on YouTube, for example. You can see, I can share that with you later. Um, yeah, some video mini film, for example, of artists actually who did this, uh, who wrote that, but way before COVID. It was also around isolation, but now it really takes a great meaning to a lot of people because we just live the same thing. So we just need to take this opportunity to use both online and offline communication channels. So really
Yes.
build up
Yes.
networks, projects
Yes.
all
Yes.
together. Yeah, and also there were also already initiatives. For example, really nice best practice. I take the example of school. There are a lot of international schools around the world. So, for example, the Lycée Français. So they are not just French now. They're really international. And they every year before COVID, they would organize a concert, a classical concert with children all around the world who are part of this school, but a wide network. And then they would hire, they would kind of engage or train teachers, music teachers from this school all around the world too, to have training, to prepare for the concert. And then they would have a beautiful concert at the end of the year, bringing together parents, but also being online. I mean, also on a channel from a French radio, for example. But then you can view it on the internet because they have internet platforms. And I'm sure, I mean, a lot of schools already have this kind of humanity, I mean, very multicultural initiative all around arts, music, for example, instruments and chorus, super beautiful. But now it's really time to multiply those initiatives from different backgrounds. I mean, schools, because for me, education is very important to make
Yeah.
children very sensitive very early around sustainability, humanity, and arts. Really, always it should be part of everyday's life to everyone. Yeah. So that's my thoughts about it.
Thank you, Dr. Leila. I think one initiative I can think of now, very, very familiar with me is Google Africa. I think Google Africa
Yeah.
has been doing a lot. I got to know Google Africa like 7 years back. I mean, on a terrestrial TV channel, they share inside of different country, culture. I mean, it's very educative program, and I think they have tried to use the available technological tools to propagate arts and culture in different countries. And so, what you just contributed now, you should equally share some insights on how we can further facilitate arts and culture through online and offline means. So, thank you for sharing your thoughts. We appreciate you all. At this time, we're going on a commercial break, and we'll be back with our panelists to give us their final thought on the topic. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
बीच में We just see video ठहरो ठहरो
marketing platform created by the Africuna TV. It's an e-marketing platform where you can reach out to them for your e-marketing needs, capable of doing helping you out in that regard. So at this point, we would like our panelists to share a final thought on the topic, and we wrap up the masterclass in grand time. All right, just 2 minutes from our panelists. Starting with Dr. Roma, we would like you to share your final thought on the topic. 2 minutes, and then we move on to Mrs. Leka, then we wrap up with Dr. Nina. Dr. Roma, can you share your final thought on the topic in 2 minutes?
रोमा बोल रही हूँ
Yeah, Dr. Roma, can you share your final thought in 2 minutes? The topic.
देखो काला वाला चौक नीचे ले लो रोमा चली गई की कर लो
Hello, Dr. Roma.
Hi, Dr. Roma.
Can
We
you
can
hear me?
see your screen, but we cannot hear you.
स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रहा
Okay, while we wait for Dr. Roma, can we have Mrs. Neka to share your final thought on the topic, please? In 2 minutes.
टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टी कोई
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, very well.
Well, my final thought would be we need more initiatives like this. We need to connect with each other. We have all come here for a reason, and we're supposed to make our mark, add value. Whatever you do, you add value to humanity. You help to make anything that is positive to become sustainable. You don't come into the world to take away, because at the end of the day, you came with nothing and you will go with nothing. So the only thing that will be remembered is the value you were able to add. And speaking directly to this conversation, I would gladly say that if you do not realize that the nature around you is what is keeping you alive, then you forget that you actually breathe in and breathe out. So if you're able to recognize, celebrate, and respect nature, and that includes appreciating fellow human beings. If you're able to do that, then you are what I would call a complete human being. So let's preserve our culture, the arts, our heritage, and show more respect and share love. Because at the end of the day, for me, love leads. And that's how I'd like to end it today.
Thank you, Mrs. Leka.
Thank you for this opportunity.
You emphasize we all need to discover and rediscover ourselves. Giving back to the society is very, very important. Value creation and adding value is very, very important. Thank you, Mrs. Ineka, for sharing your thoughts. We'll move on to Dr. Roma. Are you now available
Yes.
for us?
Yes. I was a bit late too. I don't know why the mic. So I'll just share my work, and I'm taking you back to. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So every day millions of women and girls experience violence globally, and so does the earth. And it takes many, many forms: physical, sexual, child and forced marriages, female genital mutilation, sex trafficking, rape. And so does the earth, the oceans, coral reefs, the guardians of the ocean, the flora and fauna, the earth. There's so much water pollution, destruction. So global mythologies have shown us how women tended the water and the land and lived together. The water goddesses, Yoruba and Olokun from Africa to the Americas, the Atagatas, the Irish Setna, the Ganga Yamuna from India, the Enigana, they all were symbols of strength, of fertility and regeneration. And they are an enduring legacy that keep the ecosphere community going on. And they're foundational to my work. So these hybrid goddesses, their coral wombs are going to keep our community going and keep the coral wombs of the oceans alive, which are the shelter, the food, the shelter and oxygen providers of the ocean. So these hybrid human-animal deities, in my language, this is how I express my language. So women need to work with oceans and land as a humanity. We need to live in a trans-species environment in sync with it, align with it, right? The corals and blues here. We have to stop separating nature from culture. Nature and culture are bound together. The coral wombs will blossom within blue humanities and blue ecologies. And we will be able to confront all distresses, including the COVID, if we can do that, I feel. Thank you. Yeah, that's my 2 bits.
Oh, thank you for the
If you want, I can share some more work if you want.
I won't be able to take that. Thank you, Dr. Roma. I think the visual illustration is very, very interesting. I mean, it
Some more
gives
visuals.
Thank you. Dr. Lelia?
Yes. So
will you share your final thoughts on this topic in 2 minutes?
Okay. Yes, sure. It's my final thought is really, as my fellow speakers said really well, is we really need to mobilize people to share more, to really show we are really human beings. For me, it's really important to leave a legacy, after your life. So the legacy would be really to make sure you have human-driven initiatives, you do good deeds really to people, and then you make sure that you pass it on to others. You educate others, to be the same, to really do good, to stay close, grounded to the nature, and really make the best out of arts and culture to make a better world. To make the world a better place, right? So that would be my last thoughts about that. And from a market intelligence point of view, I would say the tool that would be great is to have a landscape analysis. So of what is already existing. For example, let's take the example of Mrs. Neneka's company. So that's really a best practice here, and also what Dr. Roma is doing from an artistic point of view too, and scientific point of view. So trying to promote the idea. So we have kind of a lot of initiatives already there. So we need to make an analysis of what is already existing, to be able to find best practices and to replicate also initiatives then, and mobilize people.
Thank you for the,
just hang on a minute.
Thank you. Yes, at this point, we appreciate everyone that has contributed, particularly our guest panelists. Thank you for your time. Well, sincerely, knowledge shareability cannot be overemphasized, and it's very, very applicable to every aspect of our life. Today's topic has given us an insight on the relevance of art and culture, and what we need to do collectively to facilitate the relevance of art and culture in our society. Art is an expression of life. We can't take out art in our today activity. It gives meaning to life, and it's one thing we need to understand, that we all need to play our part in art sustainability, and we all need to put heads together on how we can contribute extensively to the relevance of art in our society. And as our panel discussed, as our guest panelists have discussed and have contributed, we will find modalities on how we can ensure that art and culture is sustained. And we should also see how private and public institutions can partner together to facilitate art in our society. So, on behalf of everybody, we would like to appreciate the Africuna team. Thank you, everybody. From the Africuna team, we appreciate.
Thank you, Babatunde. Just a question. I don't know if for the closing it's possible to show the video, Spain, the clip.
Thank you all for yes, definitely. The video is live stream on YouTube. You can watch. People can watch currently and afterwards. I will share the link.
Yeah. No, I was saying I was more speaking about the slide. The Andalusia slide, the video clip that was planned for break.
Okay,
but
the PowerPoint, right?
Yes.
Do we still have some 5 minutes to
share some
video?
Just one, because
yes, just okay. All right, yes.
Maybe one because we don't have time anymore. I think for both. So
yes, we'll share one of the videos in PowerPoint. While we're trying to set that up, we thank you all for staying tuned and coming on board to share your thoughts about the subject. Special thanks to the Africuna technical team, the founder, Chancellor, Madam Medellin. Thank you for your support. And everyone at Masterclass Initiative, thank you all for putting this all together. We appreciate you all for your time. And the Go Africa Foundation, we thank you for your support as well. The founder, Mrs. Inika, thank you for coming on board. Dr. Roma from Ball State College, thank you for tuning in. And Dr. Lila, thank you for tuning in as well. So while we're going to be playing one of the videos in the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, you're.
Thank you, Babatunde. Thank you.
Yeah, we can't see the screen, right? I'm just listening to the sound, but okay. I can't see. I can't see. No.
Cannot see.
No, just hear the sound, but okay. Yes, full screen. Yes, full screen. Please, yeah, and then. No, we can't see well. It should be presenter mode and also right from the beginning because I didn't see that. No, I can't see. Yeah, it's presenting.
We'll try to set it up from our own end here.
Presenting, yeah. So, I can share it if you like. I mean, it's really.
Okay, can you do that from your own end?
Yeah, I was about to. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay. Please try doing that from your own end so that we'll have a few minutes and wrap up the section. Thank you. Waiting for you to do that.
So. You can see, okay. Can you hear it? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Doctor, are you able to share?
I was sharing. I was sharing already. You can't see it?
We can see it.
Ah, okay. So just a moment.
We
It's not
can see
working well.
it.
We can. You can see, yes?
Yes, yes.
Ah, yes, yes. So okay. I just
Doctor?
yes?
Yes.
Yes, we can see it, Babatunde, so it's fine. Oh, okay.
Dr. Lela,
Yes,
are you able to play the video?
I am, and we can hear that. Yes, it's working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear the audio from my end.
Oh, yeah.
All right. It's unfortunate, doctor, we couldn't hear the audio sound
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
We couldn't get the audio. But really, we appreciate the fact that uh, there's a video to further illustrate
Yeah, it's
what
not
it's all
finished yet.
about. I think you have
I will
couple
end
of
the release
videos
when it's finished,
in
it's
the
not done yet. I hope everybody can see that, but
because of
Yes, we can.
we're running
okay,
out
so
of time, but
um,
do is to our participants. Sincerely, we appreciate you. We're running out of time and we need to end up the masterclass now. So thank you so much, Dr.
okay.
Leila, for this
Yeah, thank
wonderful
you too.
presentation, and to all our panelists. Thank you very much for taking time today to talk on the topic art and culture, territorial attractiveness. So thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate you once again. And at this time, we want to say good evening to you all. resourceful week ahead. So bye for now, everybody. You can watch the full clip of this masterclass on our YouTube, on the Africuna TV YouTube channel. On behalf of myself, Babatunde Adekombi, we say goodbye and stay tuned for our upcoming masterclasses.
I got to go up cause so damn love you. I don't build my foundation with my books, so my dreams can collapse overnight. My mind and my soul, they my soul. Steady chasing big levels. You for Agbala, father, Itakacha. Yeah, from coast to coast, up someone's pray for me. Pray for me. Morocco, Badura for me. Pray for me. Badura for me as I stand on my feet. What you need, Mama Rigi, pray for me. Badura for me as I dey to eat. What you need, Mama Rigi. The deeper the dream, the further it looks for. I sing all the praises to Jah. One of these days, man, I'll be a superstar that I know regular attack. In the rain, in the sun, I come for it anyway. You know we ain't got no option. We got to make it anyway. You feel one more me, that's why I be matching the gen too. I got to stay. They call me Depsy Flow. Is that dumb? Yeah.
Petit ou appelé there.
Thank you so much, Babatunde. Thank you, Dr. Leila.
Thank you, Dr. Roma. Well, I need to finish then. Okay, to cut. Okay. I just just come back so that I can see you. Yeah. Escape. Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. Here we are. Sorry, I didn't dare to cut it because I thought you were able to listen to it, to watch it. So
it's it was beautiful, and now it stopped.
Because we are not all. Yes, we are three. We are three, and it needed to end. Yeah, because I think we were running out of time.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All the best. Take care
all
of
the
your
best.
daughter.
Thank you very much for your great presentation. Yeah, too.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You started the whole thing. You initiated it. Take care.
Oh, it's okay. Take care, Dr. Roma. Yes, exactly. I need to.
Bye.
My daughter was impatient, getting impatient in the end. I hope it didn't disturb the round table. I think it was okay, but right? You didn't hear anything.
No. It was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but it was really great. Yeah, the all the thoughts, right? Yours and also Mrs. Neka. Wow.
Yeah.
Really passionate. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, really beautiful.
Yeah.
We stay in touch anyway, so yeah.
Yes.
Great.
We have a lot to do. Yes.
Okay.
You take care. Thank you for everything.
Thank you too for everything. Yeah, for the great slides, the paintings and the explanation.
I was wondering if young people can do it next time.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, because there are some. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking. I
mean, some young people were already doing master classes, even students.
They'll reach out to them.
Of course, it's important to have them. Yeah.
Yeah, a group of young people.
Yeah.
Who
I talk to some young people, some designers sometimes, and a lady from Dominican Republic, but she was not feeling comfortable with English or something. So okay.
That's okay.
But for sure we'll find some people. Yes.
We'll do that.
You can find also in the arts, right? Arena.
No, different. As long as they're activists,
yeah.
Things, we'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. A lot of people, different backgrounds.
Different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Humanities, sciences, whatever it be, as long as
Exactly. I did that actually up front. I shared a lot of contacts too, because it's really important to have them talk about their initiatives or their work sometimes.
change.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yes,
Take
sure.
care of your
Okay,
little
take
one.
care, Dr. Roman.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye. You too.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for initiating. Thank you for telling me.
Okay. Yeah. Take care. Thank you.